episode of the Best Friends Quackcast. I am Paul, aka Makiri. With me is Hui.
Hey, it's me, Hui.
And Aaron, Cybertron.
Hey, guys.
Alright, well, this is a special edition of question and answers. You got questions, we got answers. Just like Home Depot. First, we're going to get into some news. So we got a bunch of news that came out over the last few days. We got European nationals going on, guys, in Italy, Germany, and the United Kingdom. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. The thread on Nugget Bridge, and Hui, Aaron, you guys got any input there?
Hashtag we want VGC in Spain. How about that? No tournament in Spain.
I'm not surprised, though. I mean, they're just piggybacking on the TCG tournaments this time. I'm guessing they're going to expand more next year, but
yeah,
still a good first step for them.
All right, well, at least they got their Swiss and Top Cut. No more single limb for them. And big news came out today as of this recording. Keep an eye out on April 6th for Pokemon Smash. They're going to have big news regarding X and Y. Any ideas what that's going to be, guys?
I have no clue.
I'm guessing more Pokemon. I want to see like a baby Heracross or something like that.
Oh, God.
I want a baby Skarmory.
Maybe an evolution for Tauros.
What about a pre-evolution of Tauros?
We need more baby Pokemon. That's all I
More
want.
babies. More babies of Gen 1 stuff. Let's do it, guys.
Cross your fingers.
And the next big little bit of news here is regionals April 14th. There's going to be 5 of them. Make sure you head out to your local VGC regional. Make sure you pre-reg if that's available for you. And get a good night rest. You know, rest is always important. Hui, which regional are you going to?
Going to Utah. So if you're there, make sure to say hi.
And Aaron, where are you going?
I'll be at Massachusetts.
All right, so if you're in Massachusetts, check out Aaron. And I am going to Utah as well with Hui. And we got a little bit of news regarding that. Hopefully, we will be able to stream regionals live on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/NuggetBridge. We're going to hopefully have commentary for Top Cut and have as many Swiss matches as possible. Hui, got any input there?
Exciting first step for Nugget Bridge. Good. It would be our first live streamed event, and we're going to do our best to make it as good as possible.
All right, guys, make sure you keep an eye out for that. I mean, no promises. Hiccups could always happen, but we'll try our best. And after those news bits, we got the question and answer part. There were a lot of questions, and we won't be able to get to all of them tonight. So keep an eye out in the future Quackcast, and we'll have them on there. We'll continue to answer your questions. All right, the first question from Smith. Which other players have team building or battling styles that you admire most? Hui?
Okay, so I guess Randy or Inanimate would be the person I kind of envy the most when I'm building teams or playing. He just plays a really solid game, and he plays a bit more heavily offensive than most people would, I guess, play the game. So his teams are really cool. They have cool Pokemon. He loves his Togekiss. I love my Togekiss. And Staraptor, that's the thing we have in common. So, yeah.
As the brothers in team building. Are there any specific teams that you like of Randy's?
I've been playing around with his regional team with the Choice Band Bisharp and the Breloom for the Thieves tournament, and I'm actually surprised at how well I'm doing with it. Kind of fits perfectly into my hand, so yeah.
All right, and Aaron, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Wolfie. Kind of a standard pick, but I've worked with him before. His Worlds team was pretty incredible. I'm lucky that I got to use it, and he's just a really outstanding team builder in general. Covers all his bases, and he uses some really fun stuff. We saw him bring Executor to Worlds, and we also saw that Delcatty Gengar team back in the Nugget Bridge Invitational. That gave me a lot of trouble in the finals, but Wolfie is just an incredible team builder, and I admire the way he battles too, because it's somewhat offensive, but he plays smart too, and he also uses the timer to his advantage.
Yeah, I really like Wolfie's. He's got creativity built into a lot of his teams, and it's something you don't see very often in the top tier players. My answer is going to be Scott Sinner.
Tofu?
Yeah, Tofu. Everything he builds, I can use perfectly, and the last regionals, he gave me a team the night before, and I got top 13, I believe, and it's something that fits into my style really easily, and he often puts a lot of creativity into his teams. He's got a lot of Japanese influence, but he puts his own flair on everything, so I really enjoy it. And speaking of Randy R. and Animate, he asks, how do you force yourself to use something new when you have been using the same team/basic team strategy for months?
Aaron?
This is mostly a question for you, Aaron, since Hui and I basically never use the same team ever.
Yeah, okay, so for those that don't know, I had a team that I used to win U.S. Nationals this year, and I didn't use it at Worlds, but starting this season, I made some changes to the team, but pretty much stayed the same, and I used it up until the last regionals, which was in the winter. And I guess to answer that question, once you start losing with it, you kind of lose the motivation to really use that team. And I didn't do too hot at Virginia. I went 5-3. It was like top 32, but not the finish I was looking for. So after that, I realized, okay, maybe it's time to actually try out some new teams and find something else that works for me.
All right, so losing.
Losing.
That's definitely going to give you a kick in the bottom for...
Yeah, you're going to need that. All right, and Fatum asks, your overall favorite VGC formats and why? Hui?
I'm torn between 2010 and 2009 for this. I loved having access to the Ubers because they really changed the way the game's played. You have to know how to protect them, and you have to know how to use them right. And it kind of separates the good players from the bad players. But the thing I liked most about 09 was the ability to be super creative with your team building. Because it was basically 2012 without the team preview. So you could build as creatively as you wanted, and you could hide it for pretty much the entire match. And just go all out when you want to.
Yeah, that was something that I really loved about 09. 09 is my answer. I love 09. I built a lot of creative teams. Well, there's another question later that we'll get to about those teams, but 09, I was able to build some really wacky teams for myself, Hui and Dewey, even Jason Fish. That was my team building prime, and I really loved 09 just because of that. And Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 09 too. I was only a junior back then, but there was just so much creativity, and I had this really nice Trick Room Hail team that I kind of copied from one of the Japanese users. But, you look at the top teams at Worlds that year, and, Moltres made it to the finals, and Rhyperior and Shedinja, that's crazy. And that was one of the most exciting finals I've ever watched at Worlds. And, overall, the format was just a lot of fun. I love team building in it. And, I'm gonna stick with 09 too.
All right.
Yeah, I actually lost that Moltres team.
All right, and Fatum has a second question. What is your favorite single move in Pokemon? Aaron.
All right, I'm going to go with Swords Dance, solely because Swords Dance Scissor is by far my favorite Pokemon and my favorite set, and it's clutched so many matches for me in VGC, so Swords Dance is my answer.
My problem is you use the nasty mustard scissor.
The red Corvette scissor is so pretty.
I know.
All right.
You gotta quit using that mustard sizzle.
Yeah, no, I'll fix that.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Hui?
I'm actually I'm gonna have to go with the body slam for my favorite move. It's my favorite move in RBY. That 30% paralysis chance. I guess it was one of the strongest normal attacks. And Tauros. I had a lot of fun body slamming things with Tauros, and I like hitting with the paralysis.
Is this a Hulk Hogan reference?
It's not a Hulk Hogan reference. This is clearly my own favorite move.
All right. My favorite move is Dark Void. It gives Smeargle, my favorite Pokemon, something to do. Otherwise, it can't do anything, really. And my favorite move, of course, is banned now. But I had some fun with it in 09, so I'm okay with that. Evan asks, what keeps you playing? I keep playing to meet Evan. Or just people in general. I love just, meeting everyone at VGC, the regionals, Nats, Worlds. Everyone that comes out is an awesome person, and I've never really had a really bad experience meeting someone. Hui, why do you keep playing?
I honestly just really love Pokemon. Like, not even just competitive Pokemon, it's just Pokemon in general. I'll play TCG, I'll play VGC, I'll play whatever. As long as there's Pokemon involved and my friends are there, I'll keep coming back. I'm not going to retire anytime soon.
So even if they change it to anime-style battling, you're up for that?
I'm totally down with it. I'm the best at anime-style battling.
All right. Aaron?
I'm going to have to go with the community. I think the VGC community is definitely a really good group of people, and I have a lot of friends here, and, it's fun. The prizes are not the best, but the community is what really keeps me going. And, of course, my little brother, he's still winning every tournament, so I got to kind of babysit him and then bring him to all these tournaments.
So by babysitting, you mean letting him run around the city and whatever he wants?
Yeah, not the best babysitter.
All right, Aaron, we got to make sure you stay on top of that little kid. All right. The Battle Room says, what is your favorite team you have used? Aaron?
I think I'm going to go with Misa Room. Back in 2010, it was a Japanese team that had a core of Smeargle, Dialga, Kyogre, Abomasnow. It was really fun. I remember watching videos online that year and, inspiring me to build that team. And, I somehow finished top 4 in, the biggest regional ever with 768 people. And it was really fun to use, and the whole concept was nice.
All right, Hui?
I'm actually going to go with my Trick Room Mewtwo team. It was built for a best of 3 environment, and I guess it was one of the first teams I built for a best of 3 environment. I had a lot of options with it. I could go with the fast jump left mode, or I could just completely turn things around and go with the Trick Room Mewtwo. And I had that Life Orb planned out on 4 different Pokemon, so I get 5 different key KOs, and then the Citrus would I did a lot of calculations for it, and everything just turned out pretty perfect for it. So, yeah.
That's something you can't do anymore. Move, Citrus and Life Orb around. So, I admire that choice.
Yeah, I had a lot of options when I could move the items around because I could run a bunch of different calculations. I could make my Groudon more defense with the Citrus Berry, or I could move the Life Orb to it, and I also had the Swords Dance on it to make it an offensive threat if I felt like that's what I needed for that match.
Yeah, that was a really good team. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And my favorite team, it's kind of a tie, 3-way tie. Top Ogre, just because how good it was for a long period of time and how, I guess, easy it was to use at a high level, but you need to be even better to, completely win matches. And, it totally changed the meta back then. And you either use Top Ogre or you get a counter Top Ogre. And, that's something I take a lot of pride in with the rest of the Ducks that help make that team. And then Fun Zone, for those of you who don't know, is a Trick Room style team that could also counter Trick Room and then had Transform Smeargle on it, just to have a little bit of fun. And then the last team is the Weavile Smeargle lead. Of course, Smeargle again. I love that guy. Weavile was really good back in 09, and with Smeargle backing it up, you could do a lot of things. KOs, Dark Void, and it was just tough to deal with. And Hui almost won Worlds with it.
So close.
Yeah. And I almost didn't make it out of Swiss at Nats. Should have been better. Oh, well. And Eigenjo asks, Hui, how do you come up with these crazy teams that actually do work?
That's actually kind of a hard question to answer because I go through a lot of really dumb ideas, and only a few of them ever really pan out. But I do a lot of thinking about it before I actually try them out, and I guess you just kind of keep trying and building around the crazy part until it actually works, and just it's like guess and check till it works.
All right, and he also wants to know, when's Marvel? Aaron, can you answer that?
I don't know, man.
It's always coming up next.
Oh, all right. I'm just here for Apex.
And our next question from Bopper. What's the favorite item in current metagame, and what Pokemon do you think best uses that item? Aaron?
I'm going to go with Citrus Berry. I think Citrus Berry, and for Pokemon, I think Thundurus. I know Cresselia is the typical Citrus Berry user, but Citrus Berry and Thundurus have so much synergy together, and I saw that at Nationals when I was able to live a Dragon Gem Draco Meteor from Salamence, heal back up, and then live another Draco Meteor after that, and it's just such a good item, and it works so well with defensive Thundurus, so I love it.
Hui?
I'm going to have to go with a more fun answer than Aaron's silly Citrus Berry, and I'm going to pick Starfberry. For those of you who don't know what Starfberry is, it's a pinch berry that activates, and then it gives you a random +2 in any stat, including evasion and accuracy. And my favorite user of Starfberry, and probably the best one, is Caracosta. You can stick the Starfberry in the Caracosta, and you can Shell Smash to get +2s in most of your offensive stats. And you can have, I guess, it lowers the defenses, so you can survive an attack with Sturdy. It'll give you the random boost, and you're taking a gamble. If you get another +2 in attack, that gives you +4 attack and +2 speed, or you can get more speed. It's just a really fun item to use, taking risks and gambles to try to get cool boosts.
Take risks and they pay off sometimes.
Sometimes. Like 1 out of 8 times.
My favorite item is the Custap Berry, which is also a pinch berry. I think most of you know what it does. It makes you go first in your move tier, I guess.
Priority bracket?
Move priority bracket. There we go. And my favorite is on Snorlax. He's a big, bulky Pokemon, and he can take some hits that'll put him into the Custap range. And then once you're in Custap range, you could sit there and just self-destruct and take out a lot of things, because that stab self-destruct is still going to do a lot of damage. LOL Nub asks, how do you play best of 3 different from best of 1? Hui?
I guess I've had a lot of experience with best of 3, and one of the things is that I guess I'm more willing to take risks in a best of 3 series because I know I have one loss to fall back on. So I'll generally put myself out there game 1 to try to gauge my opponent and bait them into showing me what they have. I'm not afraid to kind of put myself out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I take risks in, a lot of my early games in a best of 3, especially game 1. I can, gauge what my opponent has and kind of trick them into putting them into my hands in the next upcoming games, game 2 and game 3. So even if I lose game 1, I'm not going to be down. I'm going to come back game 2 and hopefully win that in game 3, just based on what I figured out in game 1. Aaron?
Yeah, I think in best of 1, I generally try to play as safe as possible and make the safest plays, whereas in best of 3, a lot of the times, I'll spend the first game making safer plays, and depending on how my opponent plays, if, the more experienced ones, generally, I realize, they're actually pretty good. So in the second and third game, I tend to make more risky plays, which can pay off, but I'm under the mentality where I'm like, okay, if this risky play doesn't work out in my favor, then it's fine. I still have 2 other games, or I can even come back in this game. Whereas in best of 1, a lot of the times if you make that risky play and it doesn't work in your favor, then you can just lose right away. So you have a bit more room to work with in best of 3, and you have more time to really learn your opponent's play style and team.
All right, yeah. So it sounds like we got kind of the same answers there.
Yeah.
Firestorm asks, what is your favorite with OU and least favorite Pokemon tournament cities and venues, and what made them great/bad? Hui?
Okay, for favorite, I'm gonna have to go with San Diego. It's a great location on the waterfront. It's pretty. The weather's really nice, and there's a whole mess of food options like right downtown. As for least favorite, I'm probably gonna go with either St. Louis or Long Beach. Well, not Long Beach in part, or I guess the Queen Mary part of Long Beach. Both venues were actually kind of hard to find food around, so that's one of the big things.
So food is your big thing.
Food is a big thing, especially when you're playing all day and you just want to grab something quick to eat.
Yeah, that's a problem in a lot of venues is food options, especially when you only have a 30-minute lunch break or an hour lunch break. You got to get food and come back. And so, my favorite is San Diego, based on, the number of food options downtown. There's Hooters and what's that burrito place? Lucha Libre Tacos.
Taco Smackdown.
Taco Smackdown, where they always got
Luchador.
wrestling and luchador playing on TV. And the location is really beautiful. San Diego's a great town, although it can get loud at night and there's a lot of homeless. My least favorite is probably St. Louis because there's a lot of homeless, but the town isn't very nice. There's a big lack of food options in St. Louis, and it's just hot and muggy. And I think the hotel we've stayed in just was really bad and smelled funny.
Maybe it's because the air conditioner was broken.
Yeah, I could just complain about St. Louis all day. And again, agree with Queen Mary Long Beach is really bad. There's $15 parking for one day, no food, and you're on a boat that you can't tell you're on a boat.
It's great if you love raccoons, though.
Yep, lots of raccoons on the Queen Mary, so check that out if you're into raccoons. Aaron?
I think I'm going to go with Hawaii for favorite, even though the lack of food options and the high prices are turnoffs. At the same time, it's freaking Hawaii, and I love the place it was held in. The weather there was just absolutely incredible. The beaches there were really nice, and the fact that the hotel is a resort and the convention center too is just pretty incredible, and it was a blast.
You can ride a boat from your room to the convention center.
Yeah,
I really love
you can
that.
ride a boat, you can take like a train, or you can just walk. And any of the three. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
and, yeah, for least favorite, I think I'm gonna go with the one that we had in Virginia in the winter was so awful. There was like no room for anyone, and people couldn't walk between the aisles, and it was just an awful choice in venues. So, and no food either. That was pretty bad.
So in the end, everything comes down to food, guys.
And raccoons.
Yeah, and raccoons.
Nitterich asks, how do you prepare for upcoming regionals? Aaron?
I think for me, what I'm doing with this one is I haven't really found a team I've liked it, so I've been just, building teams and just testing them out with friends and online, and I think I finally found something I like. Not sure yet, but basically how I always prepare for regionals is find something that I want to use, get the hang of it, play a bunch of games with it, and just, stay confident with my team and my playing abilities.
Hui, how do you prepare for regionals that are coming up?
What I do is the month before the regional, I play it but nonstop for about 2 weeks. Then when I hit the 2-week mark right before the regional, I quit cold and don't play a game until the first round of the regional.
Is there a reason why you do that?
I need to go in fresh. I can't be exhausted on Pokemon.
Does it, change things like damage calculations, or if someone brings
damage
something that you're
calculations
not
are
used
always
to?
going to be the same. So I mean, Pokemon's Pokemon. It gives you a little bit of time to absorb everything, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I usually do the same thing. I spend a lot of time in the upcoming months doing, making new teams and testing them out, and then finally settling on a team and just, playing it out hardcore so I know it in and out versus anything. And then I, cut it cold, a week and a half before, and then don't really bother with Pokemon, I'm probably worn out by then. And most recently, I just pick up a team from the night before, and that's been kind of working out for me usually. Bears asks, which unknown Masters player do you think is most likely to win a spring regional? We?
I'm gonna have to go with my NorCal boy, K-Phonics. No one actually really knows what he does other than RNG research, but he's a solid player. He just doesn't care enough about the game. But he's good enough to, I guess, get to that point where he can win if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, no one even knows he battles, kind of.
He's just a living troll.
Yeah. Aaron?
I think I'm going to go with Dr. Fidget. I saw he's actually coming to Massachusetts, and there are a ton of big names at Massachusetts, but I think he's one of the most underrated players, and he actually has some really cool teams, too. I know he got top 4 in Florida in the winter with, Scyther, and he's actually in the top, I think, top 15 in terms of championship points right now, so he's definitely an underrated player, kind of goes underground, but I expect big things from him.
Yeah, he's actually 11th or something.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Stay on top of your unknown masters, Aaron. My unknown master, he's not really known. He's a Nugget Bridge, or unknown. He's a Nugget Bridge admin, Scott. I think he's due for a regional. We had 616 win one recently, and he's been playing for a long time. I think it's Scott's turn. He's got the ability and the teams. Hopefully he doesn't choke it or bubble like he usually does. We're going to do rapid fire questions here. These are usually off topic, so usually one-word answers. Let's get into it. Dr. Fidget, what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Wait.
Pineapple mustard.
Aaron.
Ketchup.
What?
And I love... All right.
What? Ketchup on a hot dog?
Yeah, man.
Well, there goes the rapid fire. Aaron, ketchup? There's nothing else?
Onions.
Oh my gosh,
He's like 12 or something.
Yeah, just eat a hot dog plain. Jeez. My favorite is chili. And Bisty asks, do you listen to Girls' Generation? Hui.
Only if you refer to them as Sonia Shide.
Okay, Aaron?
No.
And I do. I love them. Artie asks, do you remember when I saved Wee's life? Hui.
Yes.
Aaron?
No.
And yes, I remember. Otters, Chespin, Fennekin, or Froakie? Hui.
Froakie.
Aaron?
Chespin.
And I choose Chespin. Alright, guys. This is the end of the question and answer. Best Friends Quackcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I am at McCurryPKMN. Hui.
I'm at Huinasaur.
And Aaron?
At Cybertron BGC.
And follow us at Nugget Bridge. Make sure you check out our Twitch TV/Nugget Bridge, Facebook.com/The Nugget Bridge. And you guys got anything for us?
Good luck at regionals, guys.
Yeah, that's coming up, right?
Yep, make sure you do well at regionals. Come check us out. We'll be wearing our Nugget Bridge shirts. Don't be afraid to come say hi. And this is the end. And it's now taco time.
Aaron's gonna put ketchup on his.
Why are you all hating?
This has been a Nugget Bridge Radio Network production. For more information about our podcasts and in-depth analysis of the VGC circuit, visit www.nuggetbridge.com.